Hey everyone, and welcome back. I'm Rick Fussell and this is the Engraving Workshop. Last year I built this joiner's mallet. Now I built it out of red oak and bird's eye maple and it's worked out great, but it's sometimes too much for what I need, and what I really need is a carver's mallet. And here is an example of a carver's mallet. Now I built this carver's mallet about 20 years ago out of red oak and black walnut, but black walnut, even though it is a hardwood, you can see some dings in it. It's really not the hardest of hardwoods. There's a Jenga scale which lists the different hardnesses of wood, and I believe Jatoba or Brazilian cherry is one of the top 3 hardest woods. So in today's video, I'm going to be duplicating this carver's mallet, and we're going to be making it out of Yellowheart and Brazilian cherry. That's coming up next here at the Engraving Workshop. So here's my original carver's mallet. I built this thing about 15 years ago. It's got a red oak core and handle with black walnut face. It's held up okay, but as you can see, this walnut face is pretty chewed up. Lots of divots from the years of use. This time around, I wanted to use something tougher, so I decided to upgrade. For the new mallet, I'm using Yellowheart for the handle and inner core, and Jatoba, also known as Brazilian cherry, for the striking faces. Now, according to the Jenga hardness scale, black walnut clocks in at 1010. Jatoba a whopping 2820. That's nearly 3 times harder, which means it should stand up to carving work a whole lot better. The blank for this build will be made up of a Yellowheart handle that measures 1 9/16 inches square by 14 3/4 inches long, and 4 pieces of Jatoba, each one 2.5 inches wide, 7/8 of an inch thick, and 8 inches long. To assemble the blank, I applied a liberal amount of glue to the 4 pieces of Jatoba and clamped them around the Yellowheart handle. I used a lot of small F-style clamps, actually all of my F-style clamps, not a single one left in the drawer. I let it set up overnight, then broke it out of the clamps the next morning. After that, I marked the center on both ends of the blank, and just for fun, I used the awl I made a couple of weeks ago to punch the center marks. Always nice when your past projects lend a hand. With the blank ready to go, I mounted it on the lathe and got to work turning. I started off with a roughing gouge to round out both the head and the handle. Once it was nice and round, I began laying out the mallet. I decided to make the handle 5 1/4 inches long and the head the same length, 5 1/4 inches, nice and balanced. With my lines laid out, I started at the top of the mallet, which will have a diameter of 3 inches. I set my calipers to that size and kept checking as I turned until I hit the mark. Then, using a parting tool and a small bowl gouge, I began rounding over the top of the head. Next up was the bottom of the head. That'd be 2.5 inches in diameter. I measured it out and used the parting tool to trim it down to size. From there, I tapered the head evenly from the bottom up to the top. Gives it a clean, classic shape. With the head finished, I moved on to the handle. I measured the diameter where it meets the head, 1 1/8 inches, and used a small bowl gouge to turn it down to that size. Then I measured the bottom of the handle, 1 1/2 inches, and used a parting tool to bring that down. With those dimensions set, I grabbed a skew and tapered the handle from the bottom to the top. It's starting to look a lot like something now. I didn't get this part on video, but I used my parting tool, laid flat on the tool rest to cut in about 6 shallow grooves around the handle. Each one is roughly 1/16 of an inch deep. Now this is just a personal preference, it just gives a little extra grip. I also rounded a nice profile on the end of the handle, giving it a taper kind of like a golf club. That way it won't go flying out of your hand, unless you're like one of my old clients who used to launch a club into the lake every other round. With the profile complete, it's time to start sanding the mallet. I'll begin with 120 grit and work my way through the grits, all the way up to 400 for a nice smooth finish. I want it smooth enough that even the supervisor can't find a splinter to complain about, and believe me, she's got a 6th sense for rough spots. With the mallet off the lathe, I'll start trimming the ends of the blank using a flush cut saw. Then it's over to the sander to clean up both ends and get them nice and smooth. Next, I'll grab a sanding sponge and go over the entire top and bottom of the mallet, starting with 120 grit and working my way up to 400 just like before. For the finish, I'm using Formby's Tung oil finish. I'll rub on the first coat and let it dry for approximately 12 hours. Then I'll give it a light sanding with some 4/0 steel wool and apply a second coat. After that, I'll buff in a little paste wax for a soft sheen and a smooth fill, just the way the supervisor likes it. And there you have it, a brand new Carver's mallet all finished up. It's got a solid Yellowheart core and handle surrounded by Jatoba faces that are tough enough to take a beating without showing every mark, unlike the old walnut version. The tapered head gives it great balance, and the handle is shaped to fit your hand like a golf club. Comfortable, secure, and a whole lot less likely to fly across the shop unless you've got a habit of throwing tools like you're teeing off on the 12th hole. I added these grip lines for better control, and with a silky smooth finish and a coat of wax, this thing feels as good as it looks. Best part, not a splinter in sight, so the supervisor has officially signed off. And hey, remember, the best tool in your workshop is always going to be the one you made. Well, that's going to wrap up this video. I hope you enjoyed the video and I hope you found it useful. And if you did, then please leave it a thumbs up. If you're new to the channel and you like DIY and woodworking projects, then I highly recommend that you smash that subscribe button. It's free and painless, and it also really helps support the channel. I'd also ask that you ring that bell icon, that way you'll be notified of all our upcoming videos. To all my existing subscribers, I really appreciate all the support that you've given this channel. Now I'll leave links in the video description below to any tools and equipment that I might have used on this build. I'm Rick with the Ingrain Workshop. Have a wonderful day and God bless.